All right, let's talk about this December 28th matchup between the Tennessee Titans and the New Orleans Saints. Look, neither of these teams is heading to the playoffs, but this one's all about pride. So, in a game that looks this close on paper, who actually has the edge? We're gonna dive into the data and see what it tells us. And that's really the big question here, isn't it? How do you possibly pick a winner when both teams have been struggling so much? See, it's not really about which team is better overall, it's about which team's specific weaknesses are less likely to get exposed on game day. And that is exactly where we come in. So first up, let's take a look at the New Orleans Saints offense. Man, they have been making headlines this season, and, well, not for the right reasons. The big question for them is, can they finally get something going against this Titans defense? And this right here really sums up the whole story of this matchup. This isn't some battle of the Titans, pun intended. It's more like a chess match where both sides have some pretty flawed pieces. You see it right there, an inefficient, low-scoring offense going up against a defense that's just below average. The real question is, which one is going to blink first? Let's dig into the numbers a bit. The Saints offense is really having a tough time. They're averaging just a little over 300 yards per game, but more importantly, they're just not putting points on the board. And even if you look at the advanced stats, the ones that measure a team's efficiency on every single play, they just confirm what our eyes are telling us. This is a unit that is performing way below the league average.
So what's the bottom line? Well, even a kinda mediocre Titans defense should have what it takes to keep this Saints offense in check. Based on everything we're seeing in the data, you should not expect them to light up the scoreboard. It's gonna be a long day for them.
Okay, so now let's flip the script and look at the other side of the ball. The Titans offense has definitely had its own share of problems, but can they find the cracks in the Saints defense? Because this matchup right here is probably where this game is going to be won or lost. And this comparison really gets to the heart of it. On one side, you've got another offense that's been limited and honestly pretty inconsistent. But on the other side, you've got a defense with some very specific holes you can exploit. This isn't going to be about brute force. It's about whether the Titans have the right key to unlock this particular defense. And let's be real, the Titans offense is not exactly setting the world on fire either. Their passing game with Cam Ward has been pretty limited. The running game hasn't made a huge impact. And yeah, their scoring is right down there at the bottom of the league. So you're probably asking, how in the world can they have an advantage? Well, the opportunity is sitting right here in the Saints defense. Those advanced efficiency stats show they are particularly vulnerable against the pass. It's a weak spot, and that is the chink in the armor that the Titans are going to be aiming for all day long. And this is the key to the entire game. The way the Titans play offense, relying on the run and a bunch of short, controlled passes, it's like the perfect medicine for the Saints' biggest defensive problems. It's their kryptonite. This single matchup is the #1 reason why the Titans have a very real shot to win this thing. So let's just step back for a second and look at the big picture. This is, through and through, a game of flaws. We've got two teams that aren't going to the playoffs, and it really is all about which one can use its very limited strengths to pick apart the other's obvious weaknesses. And this table just lays it all out nice and simple. You can see the parallels, right? Both teams have offenses that are struggling. Both have defenses that are inconsistent, to put it nicely. It's this symmetry, this fact that they're both struggling in similar ways, that tells you why this game is probably going to be so close. All right, time to put it all together. After looking at everything, the prediction really comes down to one simple question. Which of these flawed teams is going to be the first to crack under the pressure? It really boils down to two things that tip the scales in the Titans' favor. First, yeah, playing at home always helps. But honestly, the much bigger deal is that critical matchup we just talked about. The Titans' offense, even though it's not great, is just better designed to attack the Saints' specific weaknesses than the other way around. So what should you expect to see on game day? Well, don't go looking for a high-flying shootout, that's for sure. This is shaping up to be a slow, methodical, grinded-out kind of game. Every single yard is going to be earned the hard way, and the final score will probably be decided by the slimmest of margins. Think field goals, not a ton of touchdowns. And if you want to put some numbers on it, the analysis is pointing to a really low-scoring game, with the total points for both teams landing somewhere between 38 and 42. That just shows you what kind of defensive battle we're probably in for. So, when all is said and done, after weighing all the data, the verdict is in. We're predicting a narrow victory for the home team, the Tennessee Titans. That slight edge they have in that one crucial matchup, it should be just enough to get them the win. So, at the end of the day, the entire game really comes down to this one question. Can a flawed Titans offense find a way to exploit a known weakness? Or will a vulnerable Saints defense finally rise to the occasion and hold its ground? I guess we'll all find out on December 28th.